Tonight, we'll drift slowly into the world of legendary and mythical Pokémon. These are not the creatures you stumble upon in tall grass or on quiet fishing trips. They are the rare and mysterious beings that live in stories, in ruins, and in the whispers of trainers who swear they've seen something extraordinary. Legendaries are more than powerful battlers. They carry the weight of myths tied to the skies, the oceans, the earth, and even the flow of time and space itself. Some guard their regions like watchful spirits. Others embody the very forces of life and death, or exist beyond our comprehension entirely. For many players, simply reaching one is the highlight of their journey. A single encounter tucked away at the end of a long cave, a puzzle, or a trial of patience. In the anime and games, they often appear like living legends, sudden, dramatic, unforgettable. As we travel through their stories tonight, we'll move at a gentle pace, pausing on their designs, their lore, and the secrets hidden in their histories. Think of it like wandering through a quiet gallery of myths, each one flickering softly in the candlelight. So settle in, let the world outside fall quiet, and prepare to journey through the legends of Pokemon, not in battle, but in calm reflection. Mewtwo's story is unlike almost any other Pokemon. It wasn't born in the wild, but created in a lab, scientists cloning Mew's DNA and then enhancing it far beyond natural limits. The result was a creature of immense strength, intelligence, and self-awareness, one that often struggled with its own purpose. Mewtwo's existence reminds us that even legends can come from human ambition and mistakes. In Johto's oldest tales, Ho-Oh plays a role both tragic and hopeful. After the brass tower burned, 3 Pokemon perished in the flames. Moved by compassion, Ho-Oh revived them, transforming them into Entei, Raikou, and Suicune. Each one now carries the essence of fire, lightning, and rain. This story of rebirth gave the Johto region its most enduring legends, and turned loss into guardianship. Lugia, guardian of the seas, chooses solitude in deep ocean trenches. Its wings are so powerful that even a single beat can unleash storms lasting for days. Because of this, Lugia hides away, surfacing only in times of great imbalance. To see it rise from the waves is to witness nature itself taking form, both beautiful and terrifying in its scale. The original trio of legendary birds carries a subtle linguistic trick in their names. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres hide the Spanish numbers uno, dos, tres within them. A quiet nod from the developers, reminding players that these Pokemon are part of a set. Though each commands ice, thunder, or fire, together they represent a balance of elements that first introduce players to legendary trios. In Sinnoh's mythology, the red chain was said to have the power to bind gods. Created using the essence of Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, it could restrain Dialga or Palkia atop Spear Pillar. This artifact wasn't merely a plot device in the games, it symbolized humanity's attempt to control forces beyond their reach, a recurring theme in Pokemon's legendary stories. Giratina, the banished dragon, dwells in the distortion world, a realm where normal physics do not apply. Gravity twists, surfaces flip, and directions lose meaning. Its ghostly serpentine form glides through this space, embodying antimatter and shadow. Giratina was cast out for its violence, but in its realm it plays a vital role, maintaining the balance between our world and the other side. Cresselia and Darkrai are often seen as opposites. Cresselia's crescent form glows softly, bringing pleasant dreams and calm nights. Darkrai, meanwhile, embodies nightmares, its presence spreading unease and restless sleep. Yet together they reflect the dual nature of the mind, comfort and fear, light and shadow. Their existence shows that even in Pokemon, dreams and darkness are 2 sides of the same mystery. Deep in lore, Regigigas is described as the Pokemon that pulled continents with ropes, a colossus said to have shaped the land itself, before falling into slumber. Bound by legends and sealed away, it remains dormant until awakened in the games. Its stillness feels heavy, as though the earth itself sleeps within it, waiting for a time when its strength will be needed again. Latias, one half of the Eon duo, possesses a rare gift. She can bend and refract light around her body, rendering herself invisible. This allows her to observe humans and Pokemon without being noticed, deciding carefully who is worthy of her trust. Her gentle nature and ability to hide in plain sight make her one of the most mysterious guardians in the Pokemon world. Latios, the other half of the duo, shares an equally rare power. Through telepathy, it can project images directly into the minds of humans, allowing it to communicate beyond words. What Latios sees can be shared instantly: visions of landscapes, warnings, or memories. Together, Latias and Latios embody both invisibility and clarity, guardians who bridge the worlds of humans and Pokemon through trust. Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza form one of Hoenn's most powerful legends. Kyogre swells the oceans with endless rain. Groudon lifts new land from the depths, and when their battles rage out of control, Rayquaza descends from the skies to bring calm. Their clash is said to echo the earliest days of the world, when sea, land, and sky first found balance. Rayquaza holds a special place among legendaries for its ability to mega evolve. Unlike most who need a stone or outside help, Rayquaza achieves this through its own energy, using the move Dragon Ascent. This transformation was first seen in battle against the primal forms of Kyogre and Groudon, when Rayquaza's radiant form became the one force strong enough to stop their chaos. In Sinnoh's ancient myths, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf were said to have given humans the essence of spirit itself. Uxie brought knowledge, allowing thought and learning. Mesprit gave emotion, the gift of joy and sorrow. Azelf bestowed willpower, the strength to act and endure. Without them, life would have been hollow, but with their gifts, the world was filled with meaning. Heatran is one of the few legendary Pokemon that feels truly alive within its environment. Dwelling in volcanic caves, it clings to walls and ceilings as easily as the ground, moving like molten rock that defies gravity. Its steel and fire body is said to burn with the heat of magma, making every step echo with the raw energy of the earth. Shaman, unlike many other legendaries, is small, gentle, and unassuming. Yet its power is extraordinary. It can purify polluted lands simply by being present, returning life to withered fields. When touched by the Grassidea flower, Shaman transforms into its sky form, gaining wings and speed. A symbol of renewal, it reminds us that even the smallest beings can bring healing. Arceus stands at the very heart of Pokemon mythology. Said to have emerged from an egg in a place where nothing existed, it shaped the world into being. From Arceus came time, space, and spirit, and through it, the world gained order. Its thousand arms, described in old tales, symbolize its limitless power to create, protect, and maintain balance across all of existence. Victini is a rare mythical Pokemon tied not to destruction or balance, but to victory itself. Legends say that anyone who fights alongside it is guaranteed success, no matter the odds. Its cheerful nature hides a deep connection to energy, as it can share its power endlessly with those it trusts. For this reason, trainers see it as both lucky charm and loyal friend. In Unova's skies, two forces are said to battle without end. Tornadus, bringer of storms, whips the winds into cyclones. Thunderous strikes with bolts of lightning, setting the land ablaze. Their clashes leave destruction in their wake, but balance is restored when Landorus arrives. With its mastery of the earth, it calms the skies and brings fertility back to the fields below. Landorus is more than just a mediator in Unovan tales. Farmers revere it as a god of harvest, thanking it for rich soil and abundant crops. Unlike Tornadus and Thundurus, Landorus is not feared, but celebrated. Statues and shrines across Unova honor its presence, showing it as a protector who ensures that storms, though destructive, always give way to life. Among the swords of justice, Cobalion is remembered as the leader. With calm blue armor and sharp horns, it stands as the embodiment of discipline and strength. Legends say its presence alone can quell conflict between humans and Pokémon, silencing chaos with its authority. Its role as the leader reflects a noble quality, guiding others not by force, but by steady resolve. Terrakion is known as the powerhouse of the Swords of Justice. Stories describe it breaking through walls and barriers to shield Pokémon from human expansion, charging fearlessly into danger. Its strength is immense, but its purpose is noble. Where others might see destruction, Terrakion's power is always tied to protection, standing as a guardian against harm to the natural world. Virition embodies speed and elegance rather than brute force, with movements like flowing leaves. It slashes with blade-like kicks that can cut through weapons and foes alike. It is said to appear in forests threatened by human hands, weaving between trees with uncatchable grace. Virition's legend teaches that defense can come not from raw strength, but from precision and beauty in motion. Keldeo, the youngest of the group, trains under the Swords of Justice to one day join their ranks. At first inexperienced, it learns to channel its energy into the move's secret sword, transforming its resolve into tangible power. This rite of passage marks its growth into a true protector. Keldeo's story reminds us that legends are not only born, but also made. Reshiram is the embodiment of truth. Its white feathers conceal a tail engine that glows with fire, hot enough to scorch the world. It is said to aid those who seek reality, as it truly is, burning away illusions and lies. To stand beside Reshiram is to be stripped of falsehoods, guided by flames that illuminate even the harshest truths. Zekrom, Reshiram's counterpart, represents ideals. Its black body glows with electric energy, powered by a massive turbine tail. Legends say it aligns with those who pursue dreams of a better world, charging forward with determination. Its lightning is said to strike down doubt itself, making it a companion for visionaries who believe in the strength of their convictions. Kyrem is a tragic figure in Unova's mythology. It is described as the hollow remnant left behind when truth and ideals split into Reshiram and Zekrom. Its icy body is cracked and incomplete, as though something essential was torn away. Wandering frozen wastelands. Kyrem embodies emptiness, seeking a purpose that was lost when the great dragon fractured. When fused with either Reshiram or Zekrom through the DNA splicers, Kyrem becomes whole again, but in unsettling ways. Black Kyrem merges with Zekrom, gaining immense electrical power, while white Kyrem fuses with Reshiram, mastering fire. These forms are both awe-inspiring and grotesque, reminders that balance cannot be forced. Wholeness created through struggle may come at a cost. Xerneas is known as the life-bringer of Kalos, with antlers glowing in radiant rainbow hues. It shares vitality with all around it. Legends tell of it granting eternal life, though only sparingly. When its 1,000-year cycle ends, Xerneas releases all its energy at once, restoring the land before turning into a dormant tree, waiting silently for the world to need it again. Yveltal stands opposite Xerneas, embodying destruction. With vast, crimson wings shaped like claws, it absorbs life energy from everything around it when its own time is done. After unleashing this final wave of death, it withdraws into a cocoon, resting until the cycle begins anew. Yveltal reminds us that endings are not cruelty, but a necessary part of balance. Zygarde is the unseen watcher of Kalos. Unlike its counterparts, it rarely appears in full form, instead scattering itself into hundreds of small cells. When ecosystems fall out of balance, Zygarde gathers these fragments into larger forms, culminating in its complete form, a towering guardian of order. Its presence is a reminder that harmony must be actively maintained. Zygarde is famous in battle for a move that bends the rules of typing. Its thousand arrows attack strikes not only grounded foes but also those in the air, something unheard of for a ground type move. This ability makes Zygarde uniquely threatening, a Pokemon that pulls even the sky down into reach of the earth. Tapu Koko, guardian of Melemele Island, is a restless spirit that delights in testing the strength of trainers. In battle, it summons electric terrain, charging the field with energy that boosts its allies' moves and prevents sleep. This makes every fight with Tapu Koko feel charged with intensity, as if the battlefield itself responds to its presence. Tapu Lele, guardian of Akala Island, is both healer and trickster. Its scales have the power to restore health and vitality, yet when misused, they can inflict pain. This duality makes it unpredictable and revered with caution. To seek Tapu Lele's blessing is to risk harm, a reminder that even kindness can be dangerous when not respected. Tapu Bulu represents the fertility of the earth itself. With horns shaped like great wooden bells, it can cause plants and forests to spring up in seconds. Yet, despite its power, Tapu Bulu is known for its laziness, avoiding battles unless provoked. When it does act, it wields its strength decisively, striking down threats with overwhelming force. Tapu Fini, guardian of Pony Island, cloaks its territory in thick, mystical mists. Those who enter are tested with visions of lost, loved ones, tempting and dangerous illusions. Survivors who endure the trial may find healing, while those who fail are left weakened. Tapu Fini's challenge is not strength alone, but clarity of heart against deception. Cosmog is one of the most unassuming mythicals, a small cloud-like creature with a gentle face, yet its destiny is profound. Through evolution, it becomes the heavy, immovable Cosmo M, before transforming into either Solgaleo or Lunala, depending on the version. This cosmic journey turns a fragile wisp into a legendary guardian of sun or moon. Solgaleo, the emissary of the sun, carries an attack of unique strength. Its Sunsteel strike cuts through even the strongest defenses, ignoring protective abilities that would normally shield its opponents. The move symbolizes Solgaleo's unstoppable brilliance, a radiant power that nothing can resist. Lunala, Solgaleo's lunar counterpart, wields Moongeist Beam, a move equally mysterious and powerful. Like Sunsteel's strike, it pierces through defensive abilities, striking with spectral energy that reflects the moon's quiet but unyielding light. Together, the two embody forces that cannot be blocked, sunlight that burns through shadow, and moonlight that penetrates the veil of night. Necrozma is a fractured, hungry being of crystal and shadow. To restore its brilliance, it fuses with Solgaleo, or Lunala, becoming Duskmane or Dawnwing's Necrozma. In these forms, it not only gains their strength, but channels their light to fill its broken body, an uneasy merging that hints at the tragedy of its past. Ultra Necrozma is the culmination of that search for light in this radiant golden form. It shines with near-divine intensity, overwhelming foes with blazing speed and power. Ultra Necrozma's light is so bright it is said to rival the sun itself, a dazzling reminder of what it once was before it was broken. The lake trio of Sinnoh, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf are sometimes said to have been captured and bound by human hands. Their combined essence was used to forge the Red Chain, a mystical artifact capable of controlling Dialga or Palkia. This grim legend shows how even the guardians of thought, emotion, and will can be exploited when balance is disturbed. Regieleki is the fastest Pokemon known, its body composed of pure electric energy sealed within bands of metal. With unmatched base speed, it moves faster than the eye can follow, sparking across the battlefield like living lightning. Its raw power is such that ancient people sealed it away, fearing what might happen if it ran free. Regidrago is said to hold the crystallized remains of dragonkind within its orb-like body. Legends claim its core is a dragon's crystallized energy, allowing it to unleash devastating blasts in the shape of mighty dragon jaws. Though incomplete, Regidrago represents a fragment of something ancient and powerful, a dragon's legacy preserved in stone. Calyrex, the regal king of Galar's past, was once the benevolent ruler of its fertile fields. Said to understand human speech and foresee events, it guided the land with wisdom and compassion. Though time and neglect have diminished its presence, stories of Calyrex as a clairvoyant guardian remain rooted in Galar's oldest traditions. Spectria, one of Calyrex's steeds, embodies shadows and swiftness. It drains life energy with each gallop, leaving wilted fields in its wake. Glastrier, its opposite, radiates a chilling aura that freezes the earth beneath its hooves. Where one steals vitality, the other overwhelms with unyielding cold, each a mirror of the extremes of nature. When united with Calyrex, these steeds form Shadow Rider or Ice Rider Calyrex. In these fused forms, Calyrex shares its mind with its partner, creating a being of immense power and seamless coordination. Shadow Rider is swift and spectral, Ice Rider heavy and crushing, both a testament to the bond between ruler and steed. Galarian Articuno is no longer a bird of pure ice, but a master of psychic energy. Its wings are almost ornamental, for it levitates through sheer psychic force. Legends say its gaze alone can freeze opponents in place, not with cold, but with a mind-shattering stare. Galarian Zapdos has shed the skies in favor of the earth. Now a flightless runner, it dashes across plains with electrified speed, earning the name of the thunder-footed bird. Its powerful legs deliver crushing kicks, and though it no longer soars, it embodies lightning through its sheer velocity. Galarian Moltres is cloaked in dark flames fueled by malice and resentment. Unlike its fiery Cantonian form, this bird burns with hatred, embodying an aura that feeds on negativity. Its ominous wings paint the sky in crimson, striking fear into all who witness it. Zacian, in its crowned sword form, wields a blade set to cut down even giants. Against Dynamax Pokémon, its behemoth blade doubles in strength, cleaving through massive foes as if size were meaningless. Regal and unyielding, it stands as one of Galar's most fearsome champions. Zamazenta, in its crowned shield form, is the embodiment of protection. Its golden shield-shaped armor expands to guard not only itself, but also its allies, absorbing overwhelming blows. With its move, Behemoth Bash, it can even withstand the might of Dynamax Pokémon, proving that true strength lies not in striking but in shielding others. Eternatus is unlike any other legendary in Galar, an alien dragon that radiates the very energy responsible for Dynamax and Gigantamax phenomena. Its core pulses with crimson power, warping the natural balance of the region. Where other Pokémon embody harmony, Eternatus is a reminder of destructive energy that can neither be fully controlled nor understood. Eternamax Eternatus is its most terrifying form, one that players can only witness, not capture. Towering higher than stadiums, its twisted frame glows like a living apocalypse. It is said that if left unchecked, Eternamax Eternatus could consume all of Galar, its sheer presence an omen of ruin. Kubfu, the humble fighting type cub, represents discipline and choice. After training under a master, it must climb one of two towers, the Tower of Darkness or the Tower of Waters. This decision shapes its evolution into Urshifu, a symbol of how one's path is forged by the challenges chosen. Urshifu embodies two contrasting fighting styles. The single strike style focuses on calm precision, waiting for the perfect moment to deliver a crushing blow. The rapid strike style is its opposite, flowing like water, overwhelming opponents with relentless combinations. Both paths reflect mastery of discipline in battle. Zarude is a mythical Pokémon with deep ties to the jungle. Its body sprouts vines it uses to swing between trees, bind enemies, or share nourishment. These vines make it a protector of its environment, feared by intruders, yet respected as part of the forest itself. The regions of Hoenn and beyond are bound by ancient temples, each sealed with strange puzzles or requiring specific companions to awaken. These trials reflect their lore, constructs not born but built, guardians of elemental forces, waiting for those wise enough to uncover their secrets. Ho-Oh's sacred fire is more than a powerful move. It is a symbol of purification. Said to burn away corruption and bring renewal, it reflects Ho-Oh's role in reviving the legendary beasts from the ashes of tragedy. Its flames destroy but also heal, embodying the cycle of loss and rebirth. In the lore of the films, Lugia communicates with humans not through words, but through calm, resonant telepathy. Its voice is often depicted as soothing and wise, carrying the weight of the ocean it protects. This makes Lugia less a beast of storms and more a guardian spirit of the sea. Suicune, the Aurora Pokémon, is said to purify any tainted water it touches. With every graceful step, lakes, rivers, and streams return to crystal clarity. This endless wandering makes Suicune a symbol of healing and renewal, a gentle balance against the devastation left behind by fire and thunder. Raikou is said to embody the thunder that once struck Ecruteak's brass tower. Its roar crashes like rolling thunder across the skies, and its flowing purple mane resembles storm clouds drifting in the wind. With every appearance, Raikou carries the essence of sudden, overwhelming lightning. Entei's lore ties it to the heart of volcanoes. Some legends claim that whenever Entei roars, a new volcano erupts somewhere in the world. Its fiery mane and molten presence mark it as the living embodiment of magma and the destructive, yet creative, power of the earth. Deoxys is one of the few Pokémon with an extraterrestrial origin. Said to have formed when a space virus was struck by a laser, it crystallized into a living organism of immense psychic power. Its alien nature sets it apart, a being not of Earth, but of the cosmos. Deoxys is known for its ability to shift between forms: attack, defense, speed, and normal. Each transformation changes not only its appearance, but its battling style, making it unpredictable and versatile. This adaptability mirrors its unstable origin, as though it never truly settled on one identity. Jirachi, the Wish Pokémon, is said to awaken once every 1,000 years. In that brief time, it listens to the wishes written upon the tags of those who seek it, granting them if they are sincere. When it slumbers again, it seals itself in a crystalline cocoon, waiting for the next millennium. The Regis of Hoenn were hidden behind Braille inscriptions in their ancient ruins. These puzzles introduce players to an in-game alphabet, requiring patience and curiosity to solve. For many, deciphering the Braille felt like unlocking forgotten knowledge, a clever way to tie real-world learning to Pokemon's mysteries. Latias and Latios, the Eon duo, are deeply connected to the Soul Dew, a radiant crystal brimming with psychic energy. This relic amplifies their powers, but also places them in constant danger, as villains often seek to claim its strength. Together they guard it as a bond of trust and duty. Groudon and Kyogre embody the eternal clash between land and sea. Groudon's drought summons harsh sunlight, intensifying flames and parching the earth. Kyogre's drizzle calls forth endless downpours, flooding lands with torrents of rain. Their battle is nature's balance, tipped toward chaos. Primal the Reversion restores Groudon and Kyogre to their ancient forms. Primal Groudon takes on a fiery dual ground and fire typing, while Primal Kyogre expands the seas with overwhelming power. These primeval forms represent nature unleashed, the world as it was before balance was tamed. Rayquaza, the Sky Guardian, holds the unique ability of Delta Stream. This power bends the winds themselves, nullifying aerial weaknesses and protecting its allies from devastating blows. It is a reminder that Rayquaza exists above all as a stabilizer, forever tempering the chaos of land and sea. Dialga, the master of time, is said to keep the universe moving forward with its very heartbeat. Each pulse resonates through creation, ensuring that past, present, and future remain linked in an endless flow. Without Dialga, time itself would unravel. Palkia rules over space, bending dimensions as easily as water ripples on a pond. Wherever it passes, spatial distortions form, rifts that shimmer and crack, reminders that the fabric of reality is fragile in its presence. It embodies the infinite vastness that gives the universe shape. Giratina's origin form reveals its true nature within the distortion world. In that zero-gravity realm, its serpentine body drifts and coils effortlessly, unconstrained by earthly physics. It is a being of shadow and inversion, moving with eerie grace through a universe that plays by no familiar rules. Manaphy, though mythical and gentle, has a strange quirk of biology. When bred, it produces Phione, small, sea-floating Pokémon that resemble its offspring. Yet Phione cannot evolve back into Manaphy, creating an endless cycle of kinship without direct return. This peculiarity makes their bond one of mystery. Cresselia is tied to serene dreams, and its feathers are considered sacred charms. In Pokemon lore, travelers would keep one under their pillows, believing it would bring tranquil, unbroken sleep. Each feather glows softly like moonlight, said to ease both mind and spirit. Darkrai, the opposite of Cresselia, keeps itself apart from others, not from malice but necessity. Its mere presence induces endless nightmares to those around it. Shunned as a curse, it wanders alone, a guardian of shadows that never meant to harm but cannot escape its aura. Heatran is unlike most legendaries in one crucial way. It can be male or female. Though rare, female Heatran do exist, making it one of the very few legendary Pokemon with gender. Found in volcanic caverns, it clings to ceilings and walls, an embodiment of molten unpredictability. Arceus, known as the Original One, wields infinite possibility. Through its elemental plates, it can shift its type at will, embodying fire, water, earth, and beyond. This adaptability reflects its role as the source of all Pokemon, a being not bound by limits, but defined by creation itself. Victini, small yet radiant, is said to store limitless energy within its body. Legends claim that a trainer who fights alongside Victini will never lose, as it channels boundless vitality into its allies. It is not power from size, but from the eternal flame of victory itself. Tornadus is unique among legendaries for being purely flying type before Generation 6. Unlike others bound to elements of earth, sea, or storms, Tornadus represents the wind in its rawest form. Wild, swift, and untethered, is fleeting and untouchable as a sudden gale. Thundurus embodies the raw fury of thunderstorms. Legends say its bolts can scorch entire forests, leaving smoldering land in its wake. Its constant clashes with Tornadus are feared in Unova, as their battles unleash chaos across the skies. Landorus is viewed not as a destroyer, but a restorer. After Tornadus and Thundurus ravage the land, Landorus arrives to calm the weather and return fertility to the soil. Farmers across Unova revere it as a guardian of crops and harvests. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion together form the Swords of Justice. Each represents a different virtue: leadership, strength, and grace. They are said to have defended Pokemon from humans during times of destruction, standing as guardians of balance between people and nature. Keldeo, the youngest of the swords, once trained under them to master the secret sword technique. Through discipline and courage, it earned its place as their equal, symbolizing the next generation of protectors, carrying on the values of justice. Reshiram burns away lies with its white-hot flames. Legends claim that those who stand beside it must pursue truth with clarity, for Reshiram will not tolerate deception. Its tail turbine ignites to reveal reality as it truly is. Zekrom surges with the power of ideals, its massive turbine tail sparking with electricity. It lends its strength only to those who dream of a better world and have the will to chase it. With each bolt, Zekrom fuels the vision of possibility. Kyurem is the hollow remnant left when truth and ideals divided. It is cold, incomplete, and forever searching to fill the emptiness within. Its jagged, frozen body reflects its fractured existence, a husk of what once was whole. Black Kyurem and White Kyurem represent forced fusions of this emptiness with Reshiram or Zekrom's power. These forms embody imbalance. Kyurem forcibly filled with what it lacks, unstable yet immensely strong, as though the universe itself resists wholeness. Xerneas embodies life itself. When its antlers glow in radiant rainbow colors, it shares energy with the world, revitalizing forests, fields, and even weary souls. When its cycle ends, it becomes a tree, resting in stillness until rebirth. Yveltal is the mirror of Xerneas. Its wings unfurl to drain the life of everything around it, returning the world to silence. At the end of its cycle, Yveltal does not die, it cocoons itself, waiting until it is called to bring destruction again. Karadin represents raw, ancient strength, a legendary that channels primal muscle rather than relying on tools or technology. Its design reflects a time when instinct and survival guided the world, untamed and ferocious in battle. Miraidon, in contrast, rides electromagnetic waves to move effortlessly. It hovers without flapping, a sleek fusion of biology and machine. Where Koraidon is wild power, Miraidon is calculated control, a creature of the far future. Koraidon's signature move, Collision Course, is not fixed in power alone. It adapts mid-strike, shifting its typing to exploit an opponent's weakness. This reflects its primal instinct, attacking not just with strength, but with perfect predatory precision. Miraidon's Electrodrift mirrors this adaptability, delivering a surge of electricity that bends itself toward maximum damage. It is the embodiment of technological efficiency, calculating the most devastating strike in an instant. The treasures of ruin are among Paldea's darkest legends, Pokémon born not from natural forces, but from cursed artifacts infused with human emotion. Each is a fragment of history, a reminder of resentment, hatred, terror, and envy given form. Wo-Chen is the embodiment of resentment, born from wooden tablets that chronicled grudges too heavy to fade. Its creeping moss-like body slithers with the weight of centuries of bitterness carved into its very being. Qianpao took shape from swords used in countless killings. From that bloodshed, frozen hatred coalesced into a sleek predator of ice and dark. Its very body is the blade of violence, reborn as a beast of vengeance. Ting-Lu embodies terror, bound to an ancient vessel that sealed fear itself. Its massive earthen body moves, with a weight that seems to press down on the land, a living monument to dread and despair. Chiyu carries envy within beads that once burned with covetous desire. They merged into a fiery fish that swims through lava as though it were water. Its flames are not just heat, but the consuming fire of jealousy. Terrapagos is the source of terrestrial energy, its crystalline shell glimmering with every possible type. In legend, it connects all forms of power, shaping the phenomenon that allows Pokémon to crystallize and reveal hidden potential. Ogerpon is unique among legends for how its masks transform it. Each mask changes not just its typing, but its personality as well. A creature of shifting identity, embodying many facets depending on how it is seen. In the Crown Tundra, trainers were given the choice of which steed Calyrex would bond with. Whether it was the spectral shadow of Spectrier or the icy resilience of Glastrier, that decision shaped the legendary king's full form and powers. The twin wolves of Galar, Zacian and Zamazenta, are said to predate even written history. Myths describe them as warriors who defended humanity, long before kingdoms rose, their story etched only in stone murals and half-remembered songs. Eternatus is no native to Galar. It is a being from space, its crystalline core leaking strange Galar particles. That energy is what fuels the unnatural phenomenon of Dynamax, a reminder that not all gifts from the stars are blessings. The terrains brought by Tapu Guardians reshaped competitive battling entirely. Electric, psychic, grassy, and misty terrain that didn't just alter the battlefield, they redefined strategies, making the Tapus some of the most influential legendaries of the modern era. The Ultra Beasts are not classified as legendary Pokémon, yet their alien origins and immense powers place them shoulder to shoulder with them. Beings from beyond ultraspace, they challenge the very definition of what a Pokémon can be. Solgalio's lore calls it an emissary of the sun itself. It is said to devour the sun, not in destruction, but in channeling its light, carrying the warmth and energy of the day across the Pokémon world. Lunala is the counterpart, a lunar gatekeeper that channels moonlight into a pathway between dimensions. Its wings glow with starlit skies, and it is said to call upon ultraspace, guiding beings between worlds in silence. Regigigas, the colossus said to have pulled continents, lies dormant until all three original Reges are assembled. Only then does it stir, as though the full cycle of earth, ice, and steel is needed to awaken its titanic will. When Ho-Oh soars, its rainbow is not a simple reflection of light. Legends call it a sign of destiny, a blessing bestowed only upon chosen trainers. To glimpse it is to stand at the threshold of greatness itself. Lugia, though tied to storms in legend, avoids the skies. It prefers the solitude of the deep sea, where its immense power won't accidentally stir gales or tidal disasters above. Latios and Latias broke ground as some of the first roaming legendaries to reappear after their initial encounter. Their unpredictable wanderings made them as elusive as they were captivating. Kyogre's myths strongly resemble global tales of deluge and flood, stories in which oceans rise without end, covering the land in water until balance is restored. Grudin mirrors equally ancient myths of the earth rising from nothing. Legends of continent-forging giants are echoed in its lore, tying its battles with Kyogre to the very creation of habitable land. Rayquaza, the serpent of the skies, resembles celestial dragons from East Asian traditions. Its role as a mediator between warring forces matches stories of divine beings who bring harmony to heaven and earth. Dialga and Palkia wield more than raw strength. The adamant orb and lustrous orb, sacred treasures, amplify their command over time and space, anchoring their cosmic roles with tangible relics. A subtle detail in Chiyu's design. A whisper among fans is that its flaming beads once resembled precious gemstones, forever turned destructive by the greed that forged them. This transformation turned glittering wealth into smoldering ruin, making Chiyu's power a cautionary tale about desire's darker side. If you look closely at Ting Lu's cracked vessel, it feels less like battle damage and more like a symbolic fracture, one that bears the weight of despair itself. Its cracked rim seems to whisper of fear that slowly warped this being from a peaceful guardian into a creature of dread. Chen Pao's icy fangs are not just sharp, they're said to be born from swords made in hatred, frozen into blade-like teeth. It's a chilling reminder that weapons once used in cruelty can leave scars so deep they form living legends. Wo-Chin abandons majestic form for slow creeping shape, almost slug-like. It embraces festering grudge rather than muscular power, reminding us that corruption often festers not in joy, but in the weight of buried resentment. In Paldea, accessing the ruined legendaries involves locating colored shrines guarded by colored stakes. Each door matches a Pokemon's element, turning exploration into a treasure hunt that blends puzzle, geography, and myth into one immersive quest. Terrapagus' shell isn't just pretty, it's a mosaic of every type's sigil, like a crystalline chart of all Pokemon power. Gazing at it, you can almost feel the latent energy of every element, coalescing into that single shimmering form. Culturally, Ogreppon's masks echo Japanese no theater, where each mask carries a different spirit or emotion. Through battle and transformation, Ogreppon's masks become not just tools, but performances of identity and empathy emerging from folklore itself. Pecharon isn't just tricky, it draws from legends of cursed food. Sticky mochi binds hearts, enabling invisible control, a narrative twist that echoes ghost stories where what seems sweet can be deadly, wrapped in tradition and illusion. Enamoris's Therian form resembles a turtle dove, a classic symbol of love and spring in Japanese folklore. Its gentle posture and calming aura make it feel like a peaceful spirit of renewal, a counterpoint to its stormier kindred. Arceus's plates, 17 originally, 18 with fairy added later, aren't random. They mirror the idea of divine avatars, each plate a facet of creation. Together they shape Arceus into a pantheon in one being, a living embodiment of every element and story. Giratina's Grigious orb reveals its true nature, unlocking the origin form that bends to the surreal physics of the distortion world. Without it, the renegade appears bound, incomplete. Arceus's multi-type ability remains one of the most elegant mechanics in Pokemon history. Long before Mega Evolutions or Dynamax, it could embody every type, reflecting its role as the source of all creation. Cresselia's Crescent Wing, an item from rare Sinnoh events, was said to shine with gentle lunar light. Possessing it was a sign of blessing, a talisman of serenity and safe sleep. Darkray's infamous Dark Void was once a terror in doubles battles. Putting both opponents to sleep with near certainty made it overwhelming, until restrictions and nerfs reined it in. Heatran is one of the few Pokemon that can strike back at its greatest threat. With Earth power in its arsenal, it covers the very ground weakness that would normally spell its defeat. Shaman's Sky form changes everything about it, trading the modest, hedgehog-like landform for a swift, airborne sprite. With the change comes greater speed and offensive presence, making it a far sharper threat. Victini was so central to the theme of truth and ideals that it starred in 2 parallel films. Each version of the story, one with Reshiram and one with Zekrom, showed how it fit between opposing philosophies. Landoris in its Therian form became a competitive titan. Year after year, it ranked among the most used Pokemon, its balance of bulk, utility, and offense making it almost a metagame fixture. Keldeo, once trained by the Swords of Justice, gains its resolute form after mastering Secret Sword. This change symbolizes the moment it steps out of apprenticeship and into legend itself. Kyurem's chilling power intensifies with the DNA splicers, items that forcibly fuse it with either Reshiram or Zekrom. The result is a disturbing recombination of the original dragon's halves. Tapu Bulu's grassy surge transforms the ground beneath into fertile fields. It heals allies each turn while softening the impact of earthquakes, emphasizing its role as protector of the land. Zygarde reveals its true potential through power construct. Once its health dips, the scattered cells unite, triggering the complete form, a towering guardian embodying balance itself. Tapu Lele's psychic surge creates a battlefield of heightened mental energy. Priority moves are nullified, and psychic attacks are amplified, reshaping the flow of battle instantly. Tornadus and Thundurus revived the roaming legend mechanic, appearing differently depending on which version you played. Their unpredictable wanderings echoed the Johto beasts before them. Tapu Fini's Misty Surge spreads a calming veil over the battlefield. Under its influence, allies are shielded from status conditions, granting entire teams a rare kind of serenity. Solgaleo appears like a radiant lion born of fire, but its true nature is a twist. A steel and psychic type, combining raw strength with mystic resilience. Lunala's Shadow Shield is a protective blessing. When it stands at full health, even devastating attacks are softened, allowing it to endure where others would fall. Necrozma, in its Duskmane and Dawn Wings forms, becomes a terrifying hybrid. By fusing with Solgaleo or Lunala, it not only gains their powers but merges move pools into a brutal force. Zerora, a rare mythical Pokemon, embodies lightning itself. Agile as a great cat, it channels electricity through its claws, striking faster than the eye can follow. Zacian's intrepid sword grants it an immediate edge. The moment it enters battle, its attack rises, as though the blade itself hungers for combat. Zamazenta mirrors its sibling with dauntless shield. Upon appearing, its defense surges, turning it into a living fortress that can shield allies from even overwhelming force. Eternatus is the origin of Dynamax energy, yet ironically, it cannot use the phenomenon itself. Instead, its existence fuels the transformations of every other Pokemon in Galar. Calyrex's crown, adorned with astral motifs, is more than decoration. It symbolizes ancient sovereignty over the land's harvest, a role of wisdom and guardianship. Spectrier leaves a chilling mark wherever it runs. Its hoofprints are said to drain vitality itself, each step echoing the life it has taken. Glastrier's breath is so frigid that entire fields are left frozen in its wake, a silent reminder of its overwhelming presence. Regulaki's lore describes the rings around its body as restraints. Without them, its electricity could cause catastrophic destruction beyond control. Regidrago holds the essence of dragons within a single crystallized core. This orb-shaped nucleus is said to contain the concentrated power of an entire lineage. In Sinnoh, it's whispered that Melton's body is composed of liquid metal, born from ancient meteor cores. Though not legendary itself, its mystery ties to myth, a being formed of stardust and metal, connecting humanity's forging traditions to cosmic origins. Dialga's breath is said to carry the scent of centuries. So long does it exist that even its exhale stirs echoes of time. Trainers who encounter it report a faint echo of history in the air, as if past victories and losses linger, woven into every moment. Pokemon legends tell of a hidden grove where Shaman's landform bloomed secretly in ancient springs before it ever took to the skies. That place remains sacred, a symbol of healing rooted deep in earth, not just flight. In Paldea's far north, lore speaks of a snowfield where Calyrex heard the faint heartbeat of the land and first learned to calm winter's chill. That moment taught it patience, a reminder that even kings discover their power in quiet places. A legend within Unova says that before Landoris was revered as a field guardian, it once nurtured crops with whispers in the wind, teaching farmers to plant seeds that would grow strong. Only later did its power expand to storms and harvest. It's hinted in Johto's oldest stories that Suicine once guarded hidden springs that granted longevity to Pokemon, not just purified water. Those who found them were said to awaken with clarity and compassion, as if their spirit had been refreshed. Ancient Kalos myths claim that Xerneas's antlers were once used by wise elders to mark sacred crossroads, guiding travelers home at night with pulses of soft, rainbow light. In this way, it became a living beacon of hope. In Hoenn, some say Regis formed in a time before Pokemon battles, when ice carved out valleys, and an ancient blast froze the world into stillness. In that silence, Regis emerged, a sentinel from the land's oldest winter. A tale from Galar speaks of a night when Zacian and Zamazenta fought side by side to push back a tide of darkness that swallowed entire towns, only to vanish before dawn, leaving behind shining blades that became their myths. Ultra beasts aren't classified as legendaries, yet Nihiligo is said to have inspired cave paintings of otherworldly creatures, predating contact with ultraspace. Its form, strange and glowing, leaves an imprint not just across dimensions but in ancient art. Hisuian Enamoris wields the winds of love, not as a gentle sentiment, but as a force that restores and rejuvenates the natural world it touches. Koraidon's body forms primitive wheels from its muscles, but they are not true wheels. Instead, it sprints with ancient strength, relying purely on living motion. Miraidon's design contrasts sharply, Its wheel-like structures are stiff, inert, and symbolic. The futuristic dragon hovers instead, carried by its electric fields. The treasures of ruin remain sealed in shrines scattered across Paldea. Only by pulling 8 cursed stakes does a trainer earn the right to face them. Wo-Chin's lore speaks of a scribe who recorded terrible misdeeds. The punishment was sealed within wooden tablets, eventually becoming the Pokemon itself. Chin-Pao glides without sound, its icy fangs form from blades of hatred. Each movement carries the chill of countless tragedies it represents. Tinglu's massive antlers are more than natural growths. They are fragments of a shattered vessel of fear, now twisted into the form of a beast. Chiyu is one of the treasures of ruin, a small fish born from cursed beads steeped in envy. The beads burn like floating embers, carrying malice that fuels its flames. Despite its size, Chiyu leaves devastation wherever it swims, making it a reminder that destructive power doesn't always come from the largest creatures. Terrapagos is tied directly to the terrestrial phenomenon of Paldea. Its crystalline shell is covered with plates that shine with the symbols of every Pokemon type. This connection makes it both ancient and mysterious, a creature that embodies all potential forms of battle in one dazzling shell. Ogerpon's teal mask reveals its true nature, a gentle spirit often misunderstood because of the fearsome masks it wears. While villagers once feared it, the teal mask shows Ogerpon's kindness, making it a Pokemon rooted in themes of truth, acceptance, and friendship. With its other masks, Ogerpon changes more than appearance. The Wellspring mask ties it to flowing waters. The Hearthflame mask channels fiery passion, and the Cornerstone mask makes it sturdy as stone. Each transformation reflects a different element, but at its core, Ogerpon remains the same protector. Peachurant is a mythical Pokemon with a darker legend. It creates sticky mochi that can bind the hearts of those who eat them, pulling strings like a hidden puppeteer. Beneath its small and harmless form lies an unsettling power of quiet control. The original legendary birds reappeared in Galar with striking new forms. Articuno became psychic and hovered with pure mind power. Zapdos became a grounded fighter sprinting across the land, and Moltres turned dark, burning with malevolent flame. Each reflected an entirely new legend born from the old. The lake trio, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, are said to guide humanity during times of crisis. They do not speak in words, but project feelings and thoughts directly into the minds of those around them. Knowledge, emotion, and willpower are their gifts, given silently to keep the world balanced. Ho-Oh has appeared in Ash's journey at critical moments, beginning with the very first episode. Its rainbow wings symbolize hope and destiny, and its appearances often mark turning points in his growth as a trainer. To fans, Ho-Oh feels like the guardian spirit of Ash's story. Lugia prefers to rest in the deepest ocean trenches, far from sight. Its wing beats can summon storms lasting weeks, so it hides itself to avoid causing chaos. In lore, Lugia is wise and protective, a guardian of the sea who chooses solitude for the world's safety. Entei's roar is said to awaken volcanoes. With a mane like fire and smoke, it embodies the destructive power of magma itself. Sometimes seen as a wandering guardian, other times a force of nature, Entei carries both danger and majesty in equal measure. Raikou embodies the force of lightning in motion. Its speed is legendary, often described as crossing entire plains in a single heartbeat, leaving the sound of thunder trailing behind. Its mane resembles storm clouds, and its roar is said to herald the arrival of a storm itself. Suicune runs with unmatched grace, so light-footed that it can dash across the surface of water as though it were solid glass. Each step is said to purify the water it touches, making Suicune a guardian of rivers and lakes. Deoxys, a Pokemon of extraterrestrial origin, has a body formed from crystalline meteorite matter. Even if damaged, it can regenerate by reforming its molecular structure. This resilience adds to its alien mystery, as if it were more energy than flesh. Jirachi is often depicted sleeping peacefully, but its body holds detachable tags that resemble wish notes. Legends say that if one writes a pure wish upon these tags, Jirachi will grant it when it awakens from its 1,000-year slumber. Regis's body is composed of a substance harder than any natural ice on Earth. Tests and lore say it cannot melt even when exposed to magma-like heat, making Regis an eternal symbol of cold that defies the laws of nature. Registeel's metallic body is said to be made from a material stronger than any alloy known to humankind. Its body may have been tempered underground for thousands of years, compressing into an unbreakable substance far beyond human engineering. Regirock is unique among legendaries for its ability to repair itself. When damaged, it simply incorporates new stones from the surrounding area, constantly altering its body over time. Each Regirock may look slightly different depending on where it wanders. Cobalion, leader of the Swords of Justice, has a calm and steady nature. In myth, it can quell battles simply by stepping forward. Its presence alone radiates such authority that even the most furious Pokémon hesitate and fall silent. Terrakin is the powerhouse of the Swords of Justice, set to smash through fortress walls to rescue Pokémon trapped by human expansion. Its brute strength makes it both fearsome and noble, a protector who fights not for conquest, but liberation. Virition contrasts Terrakine's force with graceful speed. It moves like a dancer, weaving through volleys of attacks with elegance. Its slashing kicks are so precise they can slice through weapons, embodying the ideal of strength, guided by agility and finesse. Keldeo, the youngest of the Swords of Justice, is said to cross entire oceans by creating water blades beneath its hooves. Sprinting across the waves, it leaves a shimmering path behind, a living symbol of determination and youthful courage. Reshiram embodies truth itself, and when falsehoods are spoken, its inner flames ignite. Legends tell that its fire can scorch the entire world to cleanse deception, a devastating reminder of the cost of denying what is real. Zekrom surges with ideals, generating colossal thunderbolts from the turbine in its tail. Its power is said to help those who dream of a better world, shaping new futures with bolts that light the sky like dawn breaking after a storm. Kurim, the hollow dragon, carries an aura of stillness. Its icy body is said to preserve ancient memories, as though time itself was frozen within its crystalline shell. It is the cold remnant of a once whole being torn apart. Xerneas radiates life in every heartbeat, pulsing with a quiet inevitability. Wherever it walks, grass grows greener, flowers bloom, and creatures thrive. In its presence, even barren wastelands may awaken with color once more. Yveltal spreads its wings like shadows over valleys and mountains. In lore, this site marks the end of life in the area, as its presence drains vitality from all living things before it retreats to cocoon in silent slumber. Zygarde does not act unless the balance falters. Watching unseen from its hidden cells, scattered across regions, it remains patient and unmoving, until the moment ecosystems crumble, when it rises to enforce order without hesitation. Zacian and Zamazenta are remembered in Galar as the Two Kings, warriors who once defended the land in its darkest hour. Their bond, one sword and one shield, is carved into stone and sung as a tale of unity and sacrifice. Eternatus is a being unlike any other, its core geometry resembling a twisted alien star. Crashed from the cosmos, it radiates energy beyond comprehension, the very force that triggers Dynamax in Pokemon across Galar. Calyrex, the High King Pokemon, does not speak aloud. Instead, it projects its thoughts directly into the minds of others. Its tone is polite, regal, and timeless, as though it carries centuries of wisdom in every word. Solgaleo is classified as the Sune Pokemon, a name that reflects more than just its radiant design. In alchemical traditions, the lion was often used as a symbol of the sun and of gold, eternal, powerful, and untouchable. With its golden mane shining like rays of sunlight, Solgaleo feels less like an animal and more like a living emblem of celestial fire. Lunala's wings curve into a crescent, and legends say that when they open fully, they create a gateway into ultraspace. The arcs glow as though lined with distant stars, giving the impression of a living portal, a bridge between our world and one beyond comprehension. Necrozma, in its dormant state, resembles a fractured prism, its body dull and jagged, unable to shine. This design ties into its lore as a Pokemon that once blazed with light, but lost it, now desperate to reclaim what was taken. Every shard of its design feels like broken glass, aching to glow again. Eternatus is not a creature born of Earth, but one that fell from the stars. In Galar's history, its crash landing carved a scar into the land, leaving behind the strange energy known as Galar particles. These remnants continue to radiate, fueling the region's Dynamax phenomenon. Zacian, in its crown form, became so strong in competitive play that it was banned from certain official formats. This rare restriction placed it among the few Pokemon too powerful for balance, a testament to how overwhelming its blade's presence could be. Zamazenta in its crowned form stood as the other side of the coin. While not as destructive as its sibling, it became known as an unbreakable wall, a protector that could withstand seemingly endless blows. Some players even called it the Shield Eternal. Calyrex's story in Galar is unique among legends because players must choose its final form. Fusing with either Glastrier or Spectrier, Calyrex becomes Ice Rider or Shadow Rider, two very different paths that reflect both its sovereignty and the choices of the trainer guiding it. Kubfu may not wield cosmic energy, but its lore is grounded in martial philosophy. Its path to evolution mirrors real-world dojos, where students pick a discipline and hone their body and spirit. Whether it learns the focused power of the single strike style, or the flowing motion of rapid strike, its growth reflects discipline over spectacle. Urshifu's Gigantamax forms take those philosophies to their extremes. Single strike Urshifu stands like a bold calligraphy stroke drawn in ink, deliberate and final. Rapid strike Urshifu, by contrast, swirls and crashes like rushing water, overwhelming opponents with a tide of relentless strikes. The treasures of ruin from Paldea, Woqian, Qianpao, Tinglu, and Qiyu all share names patterned after classical Chinese naming traditions for mythical beasts. Their very names connect them to ancient story-like origins, reminding players that they are not natural creatures, but curses brought to life. Chiyu's burning beads are more than weapons. In lore, they were once ordinary treasures coveted by humans, until greed and desire cursed them. The beads ignited into flames and formed Chiyu, a fish of ruin whose power is fueled not by nature but by destructive obsession. Tinglu carries a massive earthen vessel upon its head, cracked along the rim. This subtle design detail reflects the despair and fear that shaped its body, as though the very weight of sorrow fractured the object into something monstrous. Qianpao's icy fangs are said to be born from swords that once cut down countless victims in hatred. They transformed into frozen blades, forming the jaws of this sleek predator. It is among the darkest design origins in Pokemon history. Woqin stands apart from the other treasures of ruin. While the others take on powerful animal forms, Woqin becomes a sluggish, creeping mass, embodying not brute force, but festering resentment. Its body is as heavy as the grudges it carries. In Scarlet and Violet, unlocking the treasures of ruin requires finding colored stakes scattered across Paldea. Each shrine door glows with the hue of its Pokemon's element, turning the hunt into a puzzle that feels both ancient and personal. Terrapagus' shell is covered in crystalline hexagons, each one glowing with a symbol of a different Pokemon type. This design choice makes it a living shorthand for its role as the source of Terrastal energy, tying every type together in one body. Ogrepon's masks may be inspired by Japanese No theater, where masks signify emotions, spirits, and roles. This cultural link deepens Ogrepon's shifting forms. turning its transformations into performances of identity as much as battles of strength. Petulant stands among the few mythicals tied to trickery and deceit. Its binding mochi motif draws from Japanese ghost stories about cursed food, with its sticky creations binding hearts and minds. Small and unassuming, it manipulates from the shadows. Enamoris's Therian form is modeled after a turtle dove, a traditional symbol of love and spring in Japanese folklore. This gentle imagery contrasts its stormy counterparts, emphasizing Enamoris as a force of renewal and affection rather than destruction. Arceus holds 17 plates in its earliest lore, later 18 with the fairy type. Each plate embodies one aspect of existence, and together they mirror the concept of a pantheon of gods. With every type within it, Arceus is all creation at once. And with that, we've reached the end of our long journey through 200 legendary Pokemon facts. From myths of creation to stories of ruin, each one carries a little piece of wonder, mystery, or history that makes the Pokemon world feel alive. Some legends bring comfort, some inspire awe, and others remind us of the strange and hidden shadows within the games we love. If you're still awake, I hope this quiet dive has left you feeling calm and a little more connected to the stories behind the creatures. And if you've drifted off somewhere along the way, that's perfectly fine too. These legends will be waiting whenever you're ready to return. So rest easy, trainer. The Pokemon world is vast, timeless, and always full of secrets to uncover. Until next time, may your dreams be gentle, and may your own journey, whether in life or in play, always lead you somewhere new and wonderful.